Oh my days! Here again in Clown World, delivering shit sandwiches. I hope you're doing really well. It is insane out there right now, no? Let's just wait for some people to come on. You guys are all going to miss my little intro that I did there. You'll have to watch it back. I sang you a nice little Clown World song. Bit of a weird time to do this, but I just wanted to Psyop City, yeah. I just wanted to jump on because there's so much to talk about, and I'm sure you guys could do with, like, I don't know, support. It's kind of like support. We're all in this chat together, and we can share our thoughts and everything like that. So it's just really crazy. I mean, I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But before I do, don't forget, guys, hit the like as usual. I know it's boring when I keep saying that, but it really helps me out, as you know. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget, if you'd like to work with me, check out my work on my website, transcendingtimes.org. So, without further ado, let's serve up these shit sandwiches, right? It's crazy. Let me know where you're all from. Don't forget, guys, put your questions in the chat. The Q&As are as good as you make them, and your questions, and I will do my best to answer them with the knowledge that I have. I don't know everything. I've done my work on quite a lot of things, and due diligence. I try not to say things that I don't think are half-truths and that kind of stuff, so I'll try and do my best to answer. So, I mean, where do we start this week? I mean, I guess I've got to be careful with what I say, probably, because I've had a couple of other videos taken down on TikTok and other platforms, but I mean, obviously there is a huge race war being pushed right now. The division that's being caused is like I've never seen before. It is just relentless, and you know, it's like you can't ignore what they're doing, because they're using this to shoehorn in all the digital ID and all that stuff. And you know, in my country especially, it seems to be the central point. It's almost like they always roll things out in the UK first. Like, it's always seems to. I think energetically, there's something very important about the UK, about London. That's why the financial centre of the world is basically centred there. It's almost like whatever happens there, if it's allowed to happen, then it echoes out into the rest of the world. And you know, I think that's an important point to mention, because they're really going for it there. There's huge marches organised. This is what I don't get with the immigration stuff, right? It's like, can't people see that it's all happening at the same time in every Western country? Like, if it was just in the UK, all right, maybe you could think, oh, there's something afoot, but it's happening in UK, Canada, Australia, America at the same time. And people are up in their grill, completely in anger and rage, but it's like, and why do people not look at why they're letting them in? Like, this is what I don't get. It's like, hang on a minute, take a step back, take some deep breaths, right? Have a little think. Okay, why are they being let in, right? It's like, no, we're going to go straight to them themselves and project all our anger. And I mean, the other thing as well is, like, you know, I'm not saying that these people are perfect that are coming in. No sector of society is perfect, right? White people, black people, Chinese people, Mexican people. Like, there are people that mess with children in all sectors of society. But you want to know the biggest grooming gang out there? It's the 1% that rule the world. They are deeply into that stuff, and worse, torturing and killing and all that. But where's the outrage? And it's not like that's not well known these days. Like, it's pretty well known that stuff's going on, right? Where is the outrage with that? Where is the outrage to the church that have been going, the Catholic Church that have been grooming kids? Like, it's just like people are just so programmed to get angry about what they're told to get angry about. And I realise that, like, it's probably not a good idea to mix cultures together, and like people have their way of doing things. I get it, right? I'm not completely ignorant to how some people identify with their culture. I mean, personally, they're all imaginary borders drawn in the sand, right? That some person at some point made up, right? And the patriotism it's like a cancer. Like, imagine, like, what is patriotism? It is you celebrating your particular prison cell, right? You're proud of being in that particular prison of the Matrix. Like, when you really zoom out and look at it for what it is. I'm going to go off on a massive rant here, I'm telling you. This is like, if this video gets taken down, like, you know why. But I just, me, I can't hold back. Like, when things need to be said, they need to be said. And people don't understand their real history. They do not understand their real history. We have got people in the UK, Australia, America, waving their flags, proud of a piece of land that their mum and dad just happened to have sex on, right? And let's take the UK, right? Let's take the UK, because I'm British. Because if I start on another country, they're going to be like, well, I'm going to call out my own country, right? We have more blood on our hands than any other nation out there. We have bombed, raped, and pillaged so many countries and invaded so many countries. I mean, at least these immigrants, they're kind of being invited in, right? We weren't invited. We have raged hell on this planet. And you go to the British Museum, it is full of stuff we've stolen from other countries. And we go abroad, we go to Spain, we piss in their water fountains, we get drunk, we are hooligans in terms of when we go abroad watching football. We make no effort to learn another language. And just to say, I can speak Spanish, right? I'm in Mexico, so I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not perfect, but I made the effort to integrate myself in the culture. I understand I'm coming as a guest here, and so I need to put some effort in. But the British, not all of them, but we go abroad, we expect English fry-ups, we expect British beer, we're not very well liked when we travel, and we're generally ignorant. And people say, well, my son learned a language. I'm not talking about everyone. The small amount of people don't make the rule. I'm just talking in general. And you look at the lies told over the war about what the Allies did, and what happened at places like Dresden. Like, if people actually bothered to do their own research on their own culture and their history, true research, not what you're taught in indoctrination centres at school, you wouldn't be waving that flag. When I see the Union Jack or St. George's flag, I just see bloodshed. And I just can't, it just, like, it's almost like it's, you remember during the illness when everyone was, banging their pans at 7 p.m. Like, it's almost like that again. Like, you got people putting flags on roundabouts. People have been worked up into a frenzy in this patriotism thing. And they're not Australia, you know. I'm not having a go at it, like people individually. I've got Australian friends, I've got British friends, I've got American friends. Hopefully most people that are watching this stream will understand what I'm saying anyway. So, but you've got Australians waving their flags. What about the Aborigines? Hello, like that's not your land, right? No one owns land anyway, even Aborigines. But if we're going to talk about who should really be in the country, it's surely they should have a say, right? But no, the same thing's going on there. People waving their flags, and I don't know, it's just crazy. And obviously in the States as well. And that's what I'm saying. People don't know their true history, or they may know their true history, but they ignore it because they're built up into a frenzy. And what we're seeing now is this same pattern repeating that has happened so many times throughout human history, where they divide the population and conquer. And I'm like, how many times are we going to do this before we learn, before the penny drops? Because we ain't got time, right? This is the final battle, right? Maybe it's not the final battle, but it's the key battle. If this is like a war, it's being waged on all levels. You know, I talk about the astral and all that stuff, but it's also a physical war as well. We can't like bypass what's happening in the physical and just focus. It's everywhere. What we do here affects the astral. That's why it's physical matter, because it matters what we do. And likewise, what happens there with, you know, clearing stuff, doing your inner work, clearing energy work, you know, understanding soul trap, all that kind of stuff. That's also important. The whole picture is important. And so what they're doing, obviously, is they're dividing us. They're getting us to hate each other. They are getting us to, basically hate each other, shout at each other, beat each other up, kill each other. And what happens is they run the other direction with the swag bag, and they get the agenda in place that they wanted from the outset, the solution that they wanted from the outset. But they couldn't do that without causing the problem, which is why they've been letting all these people in. Guys, don't forget, hit the like. We've got 74 people on here, 17 likes. Please just take a second. It will really help me while I go through this big shit sandwich rant. Where to start with it? So that's that. And then what you've had this week are a number of murders, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look into that they're not what they seem, right? Again, I've got to be careful with what I say. A child could pick them apart. And the thing is now is with AI, it's very easy, even more so, to make these things look real. And it's caused massive division even within alternative media, because people are like, oh, it's real, it's right, it's real. And so now you've got alternative media that's divided. I said on my Facebook the other day, bring back COVID. At least we were all on the same page then, the alternative media. At least we all knew it was a scam. And like, so they can scam a whole illness, and they can, it's just the whole of reality is fabricated. Is like nearly everything is false. Everything, like the moon landing, like it's like they managed to fake that. Like they can easily fake this stuff, but then people are just like, the problem is, and I said again this on my Facebook, is that you cannot discern properly if you are in your emotions. You can't. And this is what gets the New Agers, right? They're discerning what they believe to be truth through their emotions because it makes them feel good. Yeah, so they're like, okay, that makes me feel good. I'm going to take that on as truth. And now what we're seeing with what's happened this week is a whole bunch of people are like, it's got them so like in their feelings that you suggest that actually maybe you might want to take a deeper look on this before you start sharing all these mainstream articles. I mean, you got like Elon Musk and Andrew Tate and all these. Boris Johnson have all come out with their crocodile tears. Like Boris Johnson, Boris Johnson was Prime Minister when we had the lethal poke in the arm that's killing millions. Now all of a sudden he's outpouring of grief for this person. I mean, when all the puppets are rolling out in their crocodile tears, something's up. I just don't know where to start with it. It's just, I mean, you look at the gematria, the astrology, the numerology, behind the dates, behind the clues, there's holes in all of them, right? And that's the thing. People don't look at that stuff. People look at it, they see a horrific event, which, that on the surface looks horrific, and then that's it. They're in their emotions, and then they can't move past it because they're so emotional about it. And then so someone else comes along and say, hey, maybe you want to look at that a closer, a little bit more closely. Then they're like, oh, no. They're so like, and like they don't even know this person. It's sad when anyone gets shot, right? But how many people get shot every day of the year? It's like there's this just huge outpouring for people that, like, when a celebrity dies, when a celebrity dies, it's just a huge outpouring. It's like, what did that person ever do for you? Like, what did you know that person? What did they contribute to society? Like a lot of these celebrities, what did they ever did they ever spit any truths? Did they ever use their position to do real good in the world? No, they were in some like movie or TV show, or they were on like Love Island, or like, it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Just this worship of celebrities, and of course, both these incidents. What has it done? It's fanned the flames of the race wars, which is what they want. There's that saying: never let a traumatic event go to waste. And they don't, whether it's real or not real, they never let that go to waste. Charlie didn't sell shit sandwiches, no, he didn't. Yeah, so I pretty much think that most people on my YouTube get what I'm saying, because you know me, I mean, like, I feel like this community, like, there's always things to learn, right? I don't know everything. You guys don't know everything. But I think once you've got to like entities, soul trap, chakra, bullshit, all that stuff, you pretty much, you're a very well researched person. You have done your due diligence. So I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting most people to get this, but. Yeah, so that's what's going on. And then tomorrow, we have worldwide marches on exactly this same day, everywhere around the world, in all Western countries. Now, does that sound like it might be organized to you? So then they want us on the streets. They want us causing chaos. They want us throwing bricks at each other. They want us beating each other up, because they have their media, they have their cameras at the ready. And then what they will do the very next day, they will say, look what's happened, all this chaos. We need more security. People don't feel safe. They'll have all their facial recognition rolled out. and then they'll present a solution. Or, you know, because of this, that, and the other, we need more. You know, we need more security, and what's that going to be then? Well, you know, digital ID and more facial recognition, and it's just like there was protests the other day not the other day, the other year, where there was someone caught a mole in a crowd winking. He was a fake protester winking at the police, and just before or just after he winked at the police, there was all this kind of like violence that kicked off. So it was almost like let's go now. And this guy was filmed doing it, and he was a fake protester, and they had to put the genie in the bottle, and he went and done these interviews with other like shill truthers, and to explain himself, and like, no, I'm a real protester. I've been doing this for years, and he was clearly caught winking at the police, right? So they have people within the crowds ready to provoke. When you look at the Black Lives Matters protest, they had pallets of bricks for people to brick shop windows. They literally provided the bricks. But people are so up in their feelings. They're so angry. They're like, "Oh, we got to do something." Well, you're going to do what the psychopaths want you to do, are you? You know, a lot of the solution is doing the opposite of what they want you to do. And so that's all good. I mean, they want civil war, right? They want civil war in Western countries. And maybe tomorrow might be the start of it. And so that is what I think is going to happen. And, you know, let's not even talk about all the loosh that's creating for these entities. I mean, can you imagine right now the loosh energy that's being created with all the division, the anger? I mean, they must be having a feeding frenzy, these entities. So yeah, that's basically what I see has been going on, and where it's going. And of course, we know it's all going to be, it's all leading to one thing: the digital stuff, digital ID. Now, one positive thing that I've noticed is that even though a lot of people are falling for all the divide and stuff, when you mention, you know, this is going to lead to digital, they're not going to have that. There's very few people that I've engaged with over the last couple of weeks, and they are deep into the division, that as soon as you mention that, they're like, yeah, well, I'm not going to be doing that. So there is a silver lining here in all of it, because I think because of the illness, a lot of people realise they have been had or had been had over that, and they don't trust the solutions, quote unquote, that you know, that these psychos are putting out. So people are hungry. Shit sandwiches. yeah, I got plenty of shit sandwiches today. Roll up, roll up. You want tomato in that or lettuce, love? I like how these things catch on. So the other thing I want to mention, right, is that, because when I'm talking about this, you're thinking, oh, we're screwed, you know, what they're doing and all this stuff. I actually think that they're desperate. I think what we're seeing here is a cornered rat, and I think it's a death rattle. Now, do I think that we are going to be living in a 5D New Age love and light version of reality? No, I don't. This place is a bit of a turd, and I don't know if it can ever be polished, right? However, this is a battle more than anything frequency, and I think there are more people. I mean, the best way to gauge it is where we are now in terms of like 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, my Facebook, my YouTube, like very few people would engage with this information. People weren't open to this kind of information. And yes, a lot of people are still brainwashed by certain aspects of the propaganda and everything like that. We're still quite divided, but the people are way more open now as to what they were then, when you're talking about this stuff. And I've got videos on my TikTok, like 2 million views. And I'm like, wow, I remember 10 years ago, I would make a video and I'd get like a couple of hundred views. And so when you're in it, it can feel like they're absolutely wiping the floor with us. But when you zoom out and you look at the timeline over 10, 20 years, some of you guys have been in this longer than what I have, so you'd be able to vouch for what I'm saying, is that there are far more people that are aware of the corruption and not believing what they're being told, even if they haven't got it absolutely right. And don't get me wrong, I don't get it absolutely right 100% of the time. And they're certainly not ready to take the solution that's going to be offered. That's my point. And this cult needs us to take the digital ID. It needs us to. If we don't, then everything falls apart, because everything is going to be linked to that. And ultimately, they need that digital stuff to come in to keep up the frequency of this planet at an all-time low, which is how they survive. They cannot survive in a higher frequency reality. And I'm not talking about, love and light, everyone thinking high vibrations. No, I'm talking about sovereign frequency. That is the frequency that they don't want you in. Sovereignty. That's why they use the word sovereign for themselves. That is a frequency that glitches and dismantles the frequency coming from the Saturn Moon matrix, which is the opposite of sovereignty, slavery. And so that sovereign frequency can't be expressed the way it needs to express with all the digital stuff coming in. So they are panicking and they're freaking out, and that is why I'm saying it's a death rattle. What is a death rattle? What does a cornered rat do when it knows its time is coming? It's going to fight. It's going to get its claws out. It's going to bite back. It's going to throw everything at you. And that's what's happening. And I'm not saying that we've won. I've made videos about that. Like the New Agers, the New Cages, they say, oh, we've won. We don't need to do anything because we've already won. I'm not saying that. And I'm not even saying that we're winning, right? I'm just saying that what I'm seeing is a system that is losing its grip. A grip that it's had for maybe thousands of years. And we might not see the fruits of our labor in our lifetime. Right, but we are. I think I said this in a recent video that I put up. But we are the like the acorns that could potentially grow into oak trees. And again, I repeat what I said in the previous video. Everything that you do, every conversation that you have with someone, every post that you put that someone reads that maybe they weren't aware as before, and then you've made them think. Every time you work on yourself, do inner work, just work on yourself basically. That's also helping. It all echoes out into time and space, and it disrupts the frequency of this of this system, the solar system. So to sum up the shit sandwich, yeah, it's been absolutely mental. And there's going to be a lot of people that fall for it, and they're going to continue to divide, and we're going to see more of deaths and stuff like that. But yeah, don't lose sight. Don't let it drag you down to the point where you feel hopeless. You feel like we're not getting anywhere. We are, right. It's just this system's been in control for so long. It's not going to go without a fight, right? It's not going to go like with the tail between its legs, right? It's just not. It's that's why everything in this realm is built on survival. It's because they're in survival. So we can expect to see more crazy stuff, without a doubt. But just keep grounded. Do your work. Don't let it pull you in. Like, be aware of it. I'm not saying like spiritually bypass. We have to speak up, and we have to call things out, and but don't let it drag you down. And I mean, some of the stuff that's gone on this week, and the comments have actually been really funny. Like some of the things that people have said to me. So yeah, just be the calm in the storm, and just keep having those meaningful conversations, and just keep creating, and try and make the best of a bad situation. It's clown world, and it's in a way I mean, this week I was saying to one of my best friends who I've known for years, I'm like, actually it feels like an incredible time to be alive right now, because it feels like we're witnessing something huge going on. And I believe that there's other realms like this. I believe that this architect, this distorted form of consciousness, has infiltrated other realities, other realms, and it's probably doing similar things in those realities and those realms, because it's a virus, right? So what we do here, individually, collectively, I believe echoes out and possibly helps other realities, other realms that this distorted form of consciousness has infiltrated. And it really does feel, I mean, we're witnessing some real, like, crazy stuff. I mean, I was thinking the other day, like, I'm 46 this year, and I was thinking, like, of all the insanity down the years that I've witnessed, from like 9/11 to all the wars to COVID. Like, imagine, like, we've all been through that, and we're still standing, and we can still laugh at it. And there's a very serious side to it. Like, people have died, and horrifically things have happened. I mean, those poor people that jumped out of those towers. I mean, that will etch on the souls of all of us forever. I mean, you imagine, like, what a decision that would have had to have been for those poor people. I mean, it's ironic I'm speaking about this a day after. What they've done here is incredibly evil, and not least to all the children and everything. So that's what I believe is happening. I believe that they're getting more and more desperate. And the other reason that I can gauge this in this way, before I explain, guys, don't forget, hit the like. We've got 54 people on here. No, we've got 120 people on the stream and 54 likes. So we've got like half of you guys. If you could, if you wouldn't mind, I'm delivering these shit sandwiches here. I'm only asking for a like on the video. But Now I've lost my train of thought. Talking of shit sandwiches. Oh, where was I going with that? Oh, damn it. I've lost what I was going to say now. I feel like my memory's been wiped. Anyway, to sum up, that's where I think we are with this. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to say. So I shared this with my friend. I was on Facebook, and there was an article about a new strain of and the illness that had come out, and there was 5,800 reactions, and there were 5,700 laughing emojis, right, on that article, and then the other half were angry emojis, and the other half were likes, right? And I thought to myself, wow, I remember back when at the start of the illness, I was sitting there. I'm not joking you. I was shit posting from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. on Twitter, joining in threads, telling people what it was, telling people that there was going to be a poke in the arm. And I must have done that for weeks on end. Not just me, other people were doing it as well. We all, we were all speaking up at that point. But I just remember I was in between sessions with clients. I was just shit posting. And I remember looking at articles then, similar articles, where the reactions would have been the opposite. You would have had an article like that, and it would have been the other way around. It would have been 5,000 whatever likes, and then the others would be the laughing emoji. And I looked at that. I was like, wow, that's a real good gauge of where people's minds are at now. So there's been a real shift, and again, I work with a lot of people, and many people who come to me tell me that they woke up during those years, and what's happening is they need this agenda to come in quite quickly now. Like the dam's breaking, the genie's out the bottle, so they're trying to go faster than what they can get away with. So the faster that they go, people are more like, hang on a minute, we're not doing that, or why are they doing that right now? And so this is what's happening. They're running for the finishing line, and as they're running for the finishing line, people are like, well, hang on a minute, I'm not doing that, or why are you saying this? And so they're actually in a very difficult situation right now, because it's very dangerous for them. And I even the other day, I actually thought, I don't think they're going to get what they want to get. I really don't. And you know me, guys, I don't pin my flag to the mast easily and say things if I don't really believe in what I'm saying. I just, looking at the reaction over the digital stuff, they might still push. They're going to probably still push for it because they need to. But I just don't see them get it. I don't see them getting it. I really don't. There's just, like I say, even the people that have bought into all the divide and rule, the all that stuff, even those people, you mention it, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, wow, okay. And I feel deep in my soul that they're not going to get it. And that's something to be, can you be happy here ever? But can you, I mean, again, it's not a done deal. Like, I'm not saying, it's just something that I feel deep within my soul that I don't think that they're going to get that. There's going to be huge pushback if they try and run for that finishing line. So this is what I mean. Like, when you're in it, it looks like absolute chaos. It looks like we're getting trounced upon. It looks like things are getting worse. it looks like everything that we're doing is not working. Like, what's the point? All this kind of stuff. But just zoom out is what I'm saying. And things are shifting. They really are. I just, like I say, I'm the first one to say, to call out like New Age. This isn't never going to be a utopia. We're not going to be prancing around the streets like these people. They're unfortunately they're not going to be like hugging each other and all that stuff. You know, there's still a lot of work to do in terms of like realizing who the real enemy is and what their agenda is with a lot of people. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a shift in terms of our favour, and what I feel like is we got to put the pedal to the metal, or the metal to the pedal. Well, what is it? I don't know. But it's almost like, say you've got someone like up against the wall like that, right? And you just gotta like put the final blow in, right? That's how I feel, right? Now I might be completely wrong, right? I might, but I don't come from a place of hopium. I I really don't. I come from a place of authenticity. If I thought we were screwed, I'd say, look, guys, we're screwed. Head to the hills. Head to the hills. Take your tent. We're screwed. But I really don't feel like it's like that. Anyway, I've really yabbled on. I've not gone through any questions at all. Sorry about that. So let's go to the chat. Don't forget, hit the like I said before, guys. 140 people, 80 likes. Let's see any questions. Going to be Silver Server, like, after we leave the body away from Saturn to Neptune, there's very few of us that are super awake. I suspect we are the ancient ones. Yeah, I feel like, I feel like I've been around the block. I feel like I've been delivered. I feel like I've delivered a lot of shit sandwiches in my soul journey. But maybe this is it. Maybe there are some of us that are here to like bust it up a little bit, and that's not to lose sight of the fact that this is a soul trick. I'm not going to be so emotionally invested that I'm not going to. It's not going to pull me back here, right? If things don't, I'm going to do my best while I'm here to shake things up. And that's what they don't want, guys. They don't want us to. They want us like New Age airy fairy. Don't speak up. Just nah. All right, this is a shit show. I'm gonna deliver shit sandwiches to the last breath that I take. I'm sure you guys do as well. Like, there's just too much evil going on here for this place to continue. And maybe it will continue after, but while I'm here, I'm not gonna go down quietly, and I'm sure you guys won't either. And while we've got them like that against the wall, I think it's time that we all put that blow into them. Not on just this level, all levels. Do the work on yourself. Also, that's important. Inner work, energy training, all that stuff. That also helps a lot. I don't eat shit sandwiches. Yeah, I don't think any of us really eat shit sandwiches. What about with jelly? What is it with American people with peanut butter and jelly? How do those two things go together? I've always wondered that. Mind you, we eat Marmite. Oh, guys, I've got to say, right? I've got to say it. If you haven't been to Mexico, the food here is absolutely incredible. I mean, I couldn't cope without Mexican food at this point. It's worth coming to Mexico just to try the food. And I was just in Mexico City, and there's these taco stands in Mexico City. One of them's got like Michelin stars. It's a Michelin star taco stand. I don't know how many Michelin stars it's got, but it's like a few, like 50 pesos, 100 pesos for a taco, which is nothing. And it's like you eat these tacos, there's like a party in your mouth. Poop sandwiches. Yeah. The tacos here taste a lot better than my shit sandwiches, I have to say. But just like one of the things that I love about Mexico is the way it's retained its culture. Like a lot of the buildings are pink and yellow, and like you go to like the Western countries, they're all grey and black and dark, and it's dull. And you go to somewhere like Oaxaca, like all the women they wear like the old like the traditional clothing with all the colours, and the food is. You go to different parts of Mexico, and the food's different, but it's still Mexican, but different variations. And it's really great. It really is. Yeah, Thai food as well. I lived in Thailand for a while. I prefer Mexican food, but yeah, let's talk food. Should we talk food? Let's spend the rest of the session talking about food. But British food's really bad. I mean, it must sound that I'm always like slating the UK, but it's known to be bad. But there's stuff there that there's food there because I grew up with it that I still love. For example, let me get it. I'll show you guys. Right, the Brits in the chat will know this. Right, Brits, what do we reckon about Marmite? Do we love it or do we hate it? I absolutely love it. Every time my family members come, I'm like, can you bring me some Marmite and can you bring me some Twiglets? Roast dinners, English breakfasts, and some of the desserts with custard. Oh, we have like we have like crumbles, apple crumble with custard, or rhubarb crumble with custard. My mum used to make a rhubarb crumble when I was a kid, and we used to have like lashings of custard. So if you'd never been to the UK, so the food in London is not really British food, because most people they go to the UK. Not most people, but a lot of people they go to the UK and they just go to London, right? And they think that that's England, right? It's not. London is so not England. London is like a country on its own. Actually, it is a country on its own. It's a corporation, I think. And so you go there and there's Chinese restaurants, Mexican restaurants, French restaurants, like every kind of food that you want, Turkish, it's like a melting pot of different cultures. But you go outside of London, then you come across real English people and what they eat and stuff like that. And so if you just went to the UK and you were to try Marmite, you'd probably what the frick is this? This is weird. But if you've grown up in that country, then you've grown up with Marmite. And I used to eat melted cheese and Marmite sandwiches. Oh, I really want that now. I need to go and buy some cheese. So yeah, the food. If you've grown up in England, there'll be certain foods that. What is Marmite made of? I can't read it. I think it's I don't know. I can't read the label. My eyesight. I can't read it. I mean, probably it says it's vegan. It says it's vegan. Oh, so there's no so So there's no nutritional value to it, but it's just a treat that I will have every now and then. And I tell you what I love: pie and mash. Pie. If I was like, just say I was on death row, and they said, right, you can have one more meal before we kill you. It would be a throw up between Mexican, a steak, or pie and mash. Pie and mash with lashings of gravy, beef pie. Food can be it. Yeah, Cassandra, come on, we're just having a bit of a laugh here. We've all got to eat, you know. It's like, I'm not going to come back to this realm because of pie and mash, you know. It's like I'm going to die, and like, oh, I can't leave my food. But yeah, fish and chips. Fish and chips is the other one that we're famous for. And yeah, but again, if you go to London and you get fish and chips there, it's I'm eating while I'm in this shithole. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Come on, like, I've spent the last 40 minutes ranting about the Matrix and all the stuff that's going on. So I can't cook. No, I can cook a steak or some eggs, but not really. I'm not really. Yeah, fish and chips by the ocean. Yeah, that's nice. But in up north, the UK, I don't know if we've got any northerners. You know what they do? They fry Mars bars. They actually, you know what Mars bars are. They put them in the fryer, and then they eat the fried Mars bars. We've got some northerners. Come on, who's a northerner? Red Pill says Manchester baby. Do you still do that? Do you still do that? A good hamburger. Yeah, well, my mate here, he's American. He's always like dissing the burgers. He reckons you can't get a good burger here. I'm like, yeah, your burgers are probably GMO in the States, but yeah, they do some weird things up north of England. I remember. Yeah. Oh, is it a Scottish thing? Oh, I didn't know that. A deep fried haggis. Oh, I loved haggis when I went to Scotland. Um, so I remember I got some friends in Leeds, right? Because I'm from the south of the UK. I'm from Essex, and this was like this is going back quite a few years ago now, way before when I was awake. But I got some friends up in Leeds, and we got ready for a night out. I think it was a Saturday night, and it was freezing, right? It was absolutely freezing, and I was getting ready upstairs, and they were already downstairs, and I came down in a big like duffel coat, right? Duffel coat, scarf, like the lot, and they were all there in like short sleeve shirts, like ready to go. They didn't have any coat or anything, and I'm like, you guys are insane. They were calling me like they were calling me a southern softie, like because it's freezing north of England. So anyway, we should really get back onto some more serious topics. Should we get on to more serious topics, or should we just like talk about stuff that's not matrixy? Tony's Food Channel, yeah. Fried Mars bars and Begbie. Tony, do they sell shit sandwiches in London? Yeah. Oh, Japanese food's good. Yeah. Jellied eels. Yeah, jellied eels. They sell the jellied eels in where I'm from, Essex. They're basically like eels out of the Thames. The Thames is pretty murky. I don't know. And then they put all this like white jelly. It's not like jelly. Like we've got some Americans on the chat here. When we're talking a jelly, I'm not talking about like nice sweet jelly. I'm talking about, this is like salty jelly, and the eel has still got like the spine running through it. My dad loves those. Um, yeah, cockles, mussels. The seafood here in Mexico is incredible. We have something called ceviche, and they put you can have it like you can have like pescado, which is fish, or you can have pulpo, which is octopus, or you can have camarones, which is shrimp, or you can have it all mixed together. And they make this. It's all fresh, and they put cilantro with it, with chopped up onions and tomato and fresh lemon juice. Oh my god, it's incredible. Super healthy as well. And I love my oysters also. Oysters are super source of zinc. When I eat oysters, it's almost like I get a buzz. So, is it worth leaving America? Man, I can't answer that. I don't know what it's like in America. I only see what what I hear, and all Western countries are difficult, challenging right now. So I'm hungry now. It's lunchtime here now. I want to eat. So yeah. So if I was going to start another YouTube channel, it would be a channel where I go and explore abandoned buildings and film like ghosts or entities or stuff like that. And here in Mexico, they have like it. I swear, Mexico is like the place with the most weird shit that happens. We have brujas, which are witches. We actually have witches here. Go on YouTube or go on TikTok. Type in brujas in Mexico, and you will see so many videos. We have a very famous ghost called La Llorona. And basically, the story goes is that she was years and years ago. She was married, and she was completely in love with her husband, and she found out her husband cheated, and so she killed herself and her children. And now she haunts not just Mexico, but a lot of Latin America. And again, you could just type in La Llorona, Mexico, and you'll see. There was a recent sighting of her. She's a woman in white, and there was a couple of really good sightings of her. We have so many sites with ghosts and weird stuff going on. The graveyards. We have cenotes here, which are like natural. Well, they say that a meteor hit the place, which I don't believe. But we have these natural sinkholes, which with fresh waters, and they're really energetically really good. And there's these spirits there that, like, if you take stuff down to these cenotes, they will like hide stuff, and like they're like mischievous. I forget the name of what they're called, but the locals here, they all say that these things exist, and there's so many stories. There's a lot of heavy energy. It depends in Mexico, but it's on the ley lines as well. This is why Chichen Itza was built on a ley line. This is why heavy energy in London as well. These energy points on the world. So yeah, I would start a YouTube channel where I would film. I might even still do that. It's just time. Where I would go to all these abandoned buildings and just film stuff in the middle of the night. That's what I would do. There's even in Acapulco, there's a folklore. There's a story of a guy that actually he had a house right on the front on the cliff, and he actually started to film this mermaid. And the story goes is he actually like met her, and you can look at it all online. So a lot of the things that we think are fake, there's actually, I think there's a lot of truth in folklore and stuff like that. So Mexico's so rich in all that stuff. So anyway, we're in the Q&A. We're in the Q&A part right now. Has anyone got like lashings of custard? Yeah, oh, lashings and lashings of custard. This is quite a weird Q&A. I started off completely ranting, and now I've got into all of this stuff. I hope you're enjoying this stream. Are you enjoying me talking about this shit? I hope so. I mean, yeah, I'm really hungry because I mean it's all so serious. Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking the stream. Um, I think I think everything exists. We just got to be open to see it. Yeah. Did you ever look a lot into Tartaria, the clone babies? Yeah, I had the guy on the channel not so long ago. We spoke about Tartaria. I mean, look at the technology that they used to have there, and now we have like aeroplanes. They used to have these massive air balloons, and I was reading the other day that there was a massive like psyop where there was a big like explosion or something on one of these. So then they had to wipe out like that to say, oh, we need to stop using these air balloons now because they're dangerous. I mean, flying freaks me out. I can't help it. It's just, I just come back from Mexico City and just this big hunk of junk in the air going at 500 miles per hour. Man, I'm not good with heights anyway. I think I've got some kind of like like past life something. I don't know. Yeah, air balloons. That was it. Big hangars everywhere. Yeah, and the Cabbage Patch Babies. Yeah, where they used to have like these shows where these orphans used to be on sale and all that stuff. It's a very dark history, it seems, that we have. Water, yeah, and the like the electricity conspiracy in the fact that all these pylons are already harnessing free energy, and we're paying for stuff that they're getting for free. I mean, that's a great one to look into. The electric grid already being, we already have. They're just harnessing a lot of the pylons look like Satan with the two. The two horns, and then the planes use free energy technology because all the fuel. I mean, they say they need so many like liters of fuel. Like it would. I was reading the other day. It would be like carrying like 20 elephants or something, but they only need the fuel for the wings, and they're using the what's it called? Not reverse engineer, like well, they're using free energy for the planes anyway. So, yeah, I mean, all of this is our right, all this free energy. And they're selling it back to us, is what they're doing. There are people commenting on some places that their grandmas talked about free energy in the 1800s, and they always thought it was demented babble. Yeah, no, I believe that. Yeah, a plane couldn't lift the fuel if it was used during the flight. Exactly. And this is what I mean. I've had a lot of people say to me this week, well, not everything's fake. You know, obviously I've been speaking about these events. And I'm like, pretty much most of it is fake. Like we live in a fabricated reality. And yeah, so any more questions? Any more questions? Matrix questions, food questions, cooking show questions, Mexico questions. I really want some pie and mash now, and apple crumble and custard. Might get my mum to ship me some over. A stationary plane, yes, exactly. Is your freaky neighbour still making noise? You know what? I never saw the neighbour in person. I just heard the noise. But yeah, it's that will never end all of that stuff. what do you think about all the Trump stuff that he did not deliver? Well, I said from day dot that he was the trump card. He was the savior for people, and he was never going to be the savior. I mean, look at his assassination attempt. What a joke that was. I mean, people thought that was real. Incredible. What are these black cubes? Well, black cubes are, I mean, it's the archetype of the cube. It's kind of symbolic of suppression, basically. So this is why we have so much black cube symbology with Saturn moon matrix. That, you know, when you're at university, you have when you graduate, you have the black cube on your head, the black cube of Mecca. A lot of these etheric implants that we've been finding in my course, in the group, that they're black cubes. So there's a lot of like black cube technology. The TV's black cubes. No, we got people of all levels within the course. You don't need to be, don't need to have experience. We've got people with complete beginners to people that are now working on planetary interference. So that's not a problem at all. In fact, most people have got no experience. So is this real or just an illusion? Well, it's, I feel a bit gaslit when people say it's an illusion, because it feels very real. You know, death for people when they go through the pain and all the suffering, that's very real. So to just turn around and say it's an illusion, I feel gaslit when people say that to me. It may well be at some level an illusion, but it feels very real. In a way, I feel like that's like New Age spiritual bypassing. Because if you just think, oh, it's just an illusion, then, you know, maybe you won't do anything about it, or you won't take any action. How many of us are real? See, I've been even thinking a little bit differently on the whole NPC. Well, not differently. I've said this before, but it's just come to me again that I feel like everyone's got a spark, right? Even what we consider NPCs. You know, people around me. You could say not everyone, but some of them you could say they were NPCs, right? But they've also got something. They've also got a spark, right? I can feel the love. I can feel there's something there, and I feel like what we say or what we refer to as NPCs are people that maybe just haven't come into an awareness yet. Let's call it like that. Because I feel like consciousness can permeate everything, including NPCs. Oh, something I wanted to speak to you guys about, which is very pressing. So lately, I've had a number of clients come to me that have got themselves into trouble through ChatGPT. So what they have done is they have typed into ChatGPT, can you recommend me a meditation? Can you recommend me a mantra? Can you recommend me yada yada? And ChatGPT has spit something out at them, and they have gone ahead with said meditation, said mantra, whatever. And one woman in particular had opened herself up to something particularly bad within the meditation that was advised to her. So there's a lot of people using that stuff. So I'm just giving you the heads up that be careful, because I mean, it's AI anyway, but I mean, you want to be careful with all of that stuff anyway. A lot of these like frequency stuff that I've said before, like some of these binaural beats, and you know, just be very discerning. It's so anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, NPCs. That was it. So custard, custard. I want my custard. I want lashings and lashings and lashings of gravy. Then I want lashings and lashings and lashings of custard. I want lashings of gravy on Yorkshire puddings. For all the people that aren't British, right? Google Yorkshire puddings, right? And just look how incredibly tasty those things look. My nan, she's died now. She was a wonderful cook, and I'm going to talk about food again now for the next half an hour. Sorry, I got a bit of time this afternoon. I've been going, an hour and 10 minutes. I hope this live doesn't get taken down because it's been a real mixed bag. But I've really gone hell for leather on some things as well. I hope they just look at the cooking aspect of it. But my nan, she used to make beef pie. She used to make puff pastry, and obviously it used to puff up. What I'd do for one of those pies now. And then me and my sister used to go around her house, and she was a feeder, right? You know, some people they show their love by feeding. She wasn't a very like an emotional nan. Like she would get a bit weird when you go to hug her and stuff. But she, when it came to food, that was the way that she showed her love. And me and my sister, we used to go around there on a Tuesday night after school. And there was one time we came back to my mum and dad's, and it was either my sister or me, I can't remember now, but one of us vomited because we'd eaten so much crap. I need to talk to my sister about that. She'll laugh. That was when life was simple. Actually, it wasn't simple because I used to be at school and I used to hate school. Obviously, because I felt like I was at prison. Right, serious, Tony. Let's get off subject of food. Do we want a serious stream today, or do we want? I mean, it's already been serious, but Nan's cooking, yum, yeah. I was watching a bunch of police videos with criminals constantly arguing with police until they got arrested. It occurred to me that this creates a lot of loosh. And yeah, I mean, it's all about conflict, division. Getting you in your feelings, getting you. I mean, I'm not telling people to bypass feelings, feel them, but it's when we act upon them, and we're seeing that now. I think a lot of these people. I'm speaking to a lot of people within this, the community that is really enraged and wants like violence and all that stuff. It's like those people have a lot of hate within themselves, and what this is doing is it's giving them a reason to project it. So we're seeing a lot of projection here as well with all of this, and of course you're right, it creates a huge amount of loosh. I feel actually a lot of people are actually getting possessed with entities. There's been people that I know, and the way they're acting over this, I can tell it's possession just from experience, just from working in this field. Maybe not full-on possession, but there's certainly a lot of entities running their show where they've hooked in on all the anger and rage, and they're projecting out on me. And so we're seeing a lot of that going on as well. People are getting more attachments through all of this. I mean, we're talking of food. It's an absolute feast for these entities. So, people need to be wary of that. When you're getting enraged and you're like out, because the general rule of thumb with these entities, anytime you're out of your center, whether that be you're drunk, whether that be you're on drugs, whether that be you're consumed by anger, whether that be you're consumed by fear, whether that be you get knocked out, whether that be you get in an accident, whether that be you get sexually or physically abused, that's when the heavier attachments can come in, whether that be ayahuasca, whether that be a DMT, whether that be whatever. Whenever you're off center, whether you alter your frequency, that's when the stronger attachments can come in. Oh man, we've got to stop talking about Yorkshire puddings. I'm trying to be sensible here. Who's you cop talk YouTube raving about it? Yorkshire pudding crew. we got a nasty crew. Now we've got a Yorkshire pudding crew. I tell you what, I'm not feeding you shit sandwiches anymore. I'm feeding you Yorkshire pudding sandwiches. All right. So I've been working hard to shut that angry bubble in my head. Yeah, my dad's a demon-possessed energy vampire. Yeah, they do. Yeah, the sugary food, like unhealthy food. I've noticed, like, I try and keep it as healthy as I can. Obviously, I'm not 100% perfect. I try and get my nutrition in. Obviously, you guys know I went down the vegan path and found out what a scam that was. But I've noticed that if I do have, let's say, a bit of a blowout with food, I can feel almost immediately my energy shift, and I feel like that also can have an impact. Yeah, I mean sugar, obviously. Um, so yeah, fake space entities and the universe. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with all these marches going on around the world, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. Maybe that's going to be when they start their whole civil war thing, because that's what they're angling for, right? They want civil war, and they want us divided. So it's going to be interesting. I hope the energy. I mean, certainly in London, it's going to be incredible in terms of that being like a ley line point. So they're probably going to be harvesting all that energy there, and we're just going to watch it all play out. Shit show. Hopefully, enough people will realise what's going on. I'm sure there's going to be thousands of people show up. Well, I know there is. It's funny. A lot of people that, or some people that I know that have never, like, they've never stood up for anything. They've never gone to any kind of protest or anything like that. They're going to this one, and I'm like, they're going to that one because the media has them enraged, right? Tony, you need to YouTube channel Mary Mindful Bakes Healthy. sounds like a nice cooking channel. I'm going to change this to a cooking channel. You know what? That would be great if this matrix comes down, and I can change this to a channel where I talk about food and ghosts. But on that point, I think I'm going to leave it there because I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes basically. So it's been a great chat, guys. I really enjoyed seeing you all, and just keep strong out there, keep your sense of humour, and yeah, take care, and I'll speak to you all soon, guys.